Life is a collection of missed calls. Some of them are melodies playing in our heads that we try to catch to hear again. I met her at a student party. She was the center of attention, laughing and sparkling like a little star that had fallen into the middle of the celebration. Shy and reserved, felt lost in the crowd, but somehow she managed to notice me. "You're mysterious," she said, looking into my eyes with such wit as if she had known me all her life. Her name was Alina. She was an artist, her life filled with bright colors and unpredictable whirlwinds of creativity. I was a programmer, my world strict and logical, built on binary code, but she saw something more in me than just code. She saw a mystery she wanted to unravel. We spent a few weeks together, each filled with magic and joyful discoveries. I felt like a true hero in her life. She inspired me to see the world in new colors. Then she left, to another city, to another planet. Her creativity demanded new experiences, and she, as always, followed her dream. I remember standing on the platform, watching the train take her into the unknown. At that moment, it felt like a part of me was leaving with her. We exchanged promises to write to each other, to stay in touch, but life, as always, had its own plans. At first, we wrote to each other every day, sharing our thoughts, dreams, and fears. Alina sent me photos of her paintings, and I, in turn, shared my work successes. But over time, the distance began to weigh on our relationship. And messages became less frequent and then stopped altogether. I tried to understand what went wrong, but I couldn't find the answer. Months passed. I continued living my routine life, but deep down, there always remained that missed call that never rang. I often thought about how she might be painting by the ocean, surrounded by new people and experiences. I envied her, but at the same time, I felt lonely. One day, in search of inspiration, I decided to visit an exhibition. The walls were adorned with paintings full of life and emotion. And suddenly I saw her work. It was a painting that filled me with warmth and nostalgia. I approached to examine the details and noticed a signature in the corner. Alina, 2023. My heart raced. I couldn't believe she was still creating and remembered me. That evening, I returned home with a resolution. I had to call her. I found the old number I had saved in my phone, my heart pounding with excitement. Dialing the number, I heard the ringing. I knew this could be my last chance, but on the other end came an automated voice. "The subscriber is temporarily unavailable." I felt a wave of disappointment wash over me. I tried again and again, but each time I heard only silence. A few days passed, and I decided to write to her. I sat down at my computer and began to type. The words flowed into sentences as I recalled our happy moments together. I told her about my feelings, how much I missed her, and how her creativity inspired me. Finally, I hit send and closed my eyes, hoping she still remembered me. After a few days of silence, I began to lose hope. But then, one morning, as I was getting ready for work, my phone made a notification sound. I grabbed it and saw a message from Alina. My heart raced even faster. "Hi, I'm so glad to hear from you. I'm sorry I didn't respond. I've been going through a tough time. How are you?" I couldn't help but smile. We started messaging back and forth, and each new exchange filled me with joy. She told me about her travels, how she opened a new gallery in another city, and how she missed the old times. In turn, shared my work successes and how much her creativity meant to me. But soon, our conversations became deeper. We began discussing not only our lives, but also the feelings that had never faded. I realized that all these years, I had not only missed her, but also that part of myself that she awakened. One day, in the middle of our conversation, I gathered my courage and wrote, "Alina, how do you feel about meeting up? I would love to see you again." Seconds stretched on, and I felt my heart stop in anticipation. Finally, a response came. "I've been thinking about that too. Let's meet." We set a date for the weekend. I was excited yet scared. What if everything had changed between us? What if she didn't feel the same? Still, hope overflowed within me. On that day, I chose a cafe where we used to hang out together. I arrived early to calm my nerves. When she walked in, the world around me seemed to freeze. Alina looked just as beautiful as in my memories. Her hair was down, and a gentle smile played on her face. I felt all my fears and doubts evaporate as she approached me. "Hi," she said, and there was a note of warmth in her voice that made me feel at home. We sat down at a table, and the conversation started as if we had never been apart. We laughed, reminisced about funny moments from our past, and shared new stories. I couldn't take my eyes off her, and at one point, when our eyes met, I saw the same spark I had seen 5 years ago. "How did you decide to hold this exhibition?" I asked, pointing to her recent successes. "I just realized I couldn't hide anymore. Art is everything I love, and I decided it was time to show my work to the world," she replied, her eyes shining with pride and enthusiasm. I was struck by her courage and determination. "I always knew you were talented," I said, and it was sincere. "Your paintings are a reflection of your soul." Alina smiled and blushed modestly. "Thank you. That means a lot to me. I often thought of you and how you always supported me." We continued our conversation, and soon I noticed that the special connection between us had re-emerged, the one that once united us. We discussed not only art, but also dreams, fears, and plans for the future. I shared with her the changes in my life, how I had learned to appreciate every moment, and how much I missed her. "You know," she began, "when I left, I thought I could start everything from scratch, but sometimes I miss those moments we spent together. You were a part of my inspiration." Those words warmed my heart. I felt that the magic that once intertwined our fates had returned. "Alina," I said, "maybe we should try again. I don't want to lose you again." She looked at me with a slight smile, and I saw the same hope in her eyes. "I want that too. Let's give it a try. We can start with a clean slate." At that moment, I realized that our time apart hadn't been in vain. It was a time that allowed us to grow, to understand ourselves and our desires. Now that we were together again, I felt we had a chance to create something new and beautiful. After our meeting, we began to see each other more often. We visited exhibitions together, strolled through the city, and shared our thoughts and feelings. Every moment spent together filled me with happiness. I felt alive again, and it was all thanks to Alina. One day, while walking in the park, I stopped and said, "I can't imagine my life without you. You're not just my muse, you're my support and inspiration." Alina looked at me with a genuine smile and replied, "I feel the same way. We've been through so much, and now I understand that together we can achieve anything." We continued to move forward, hand in hand, and I knew that our new beginning would be filled with wonders and inspiration. After all, love and friendship are what truly matter in life. And with each passing day, I became more convinced that Alina was that part of me I had been searching for all those years.